Hello, fellow body workers. So today, I want to talk about bringing, facilitating space for people to be where they are. Last time I spoke a little bit about acknowledging. A lot of times people, as you start to work with the body, all sorts of processes can start to happen. People have their own experiences. People go places where you might not have even expected for them to go. So the idea is that you let them be where they are. You can offer that space to them by asking them questions about their experience, about where they are. And that answer doesn't necessarily have to be said out loud. It can be said to themselves, it can be said in quiet, and you're really just facilitating their own internal experience. Given the more people are willing to share with you while they're going through the process, the more you can help guide their experience to help them feel themselves or feel what it is that they're going through in that moment. And of course, if in your head you're thinking, I'm going to guide this thing, and actually in their minds or in their bodies something completely different is going on, then you want to kind of get an idea for where they're coming from, what's going on with them, so you can readjust where you're coming from, what you're saying, and make it a little bit more suitable for what it is that they're experiencing. So for example, if someone is on your table or someone is in front of you and they start to cry, you might assume that that crying is actually coming from a place of sadness or a place of anxiety, for example. But actually, maybe that crying is coming from a really sweet place. It's coming from a deep sense of gratitude. And so when someone begins to cry, you can say, what? What are you experiencing right now? And maybe they'll have an answer. Sometimes people don't know right off why they're having a exaggerated emotional experience, and that's okay. But if they do know, and if they tell you their experience, I'm crying because I feel really, really happy, then you get to say something to the effect of, wow, what a great experience. Let that experience flood your body. Where in your body could use that the most? And fill that space up in the most powerful and in the most beautiful way that you can, and use all of your sweetness to fill that space up with that area that you're coming from, with that happiness, that goodness that you feel in your body. Now, if you hadn't gotten that feedback from your client, then you wouldn't be able to say, hey, this is a good thing. You might be assuming they're crying because they're sad, or they're crying for, whatever various reasons. On the other hand, if they are crying for one of those reasons and you hear that feedback from them, then you can move deeper into whatever that experience is. So if they say, I'm crying because I realize I don't feel very loved in my life, which unfortunately is really common for a lot of people today. I think I have a lot of opinions on why people are feeling that, but there's a lot of we're all starting to be a little bit more disconnected because of our phones and because of the wonderful tech world that we're all benefiting from, but also it's creating a lot of loneliness in people, and so people end up feeling not loved. But that's just my opinion. And so if someone starts to say, I feel really not loved, then you can start to guide that experience. Again, we're putting all of this into the body. So where in your body feels the least amount of love? And what do you do in your body every single time that you feel that lack of love? What happens in your body? Do you have control over that thing, or do you have no control over that thing? Begin to ask those questions. There's a dynamic here of kind of like stirring the pot a little bit. And so sometimes that can get people really emotionally chaotic and full. Maybe even overwhelmed with what they begin to feel. And so then you can offer your words to kind of help ground or settle that a little bit. That can be really helpful. But it's okay to have the pot stirred. It's okay to look deep into ourselves and see what's going on and ask ourselves really why we're feeling what we're feeling. And if we can use our body as the guide, our body can tell us everything, or almost everything. If we can really access what our body is doing and why, then we can use that access to help ourselves out. So what about you? How do you feel deeply into your body? What do you feel deep in your body? I think that'll be good for today. If there's any questions, please feel free to comment below. If you like what I have to say, please feel free to comment below. Again, if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to my channel, and thank you so much for tuning in and hearing what I have to say. Take care.